Good afternoon from Manila, Philippines. We're actually in Bonifacio, Global City. And it's pronounced all kinds of different ways. You'll hear Bonifacio, you'll hear Bonifacio, all kinds of stuff. We just call it BGC. It's a private city inside of Manila. It's an island kind of a thing. Some guys came along years and years ago and they said, geez, we would like to build a beautiful city in the middle of Manila. And if you, the government, will let us, we're going to buy a whole bunch of land. We're going to finance the crap out of that thing. We're going to make it all pretty and clean and beautiful. And maybe it'll be kind of like, Singapore. And they did it. They pulled it off. They did it. And it is. It's kind of like Singapore. It really is. It's nice. It's a nice place. It's not all nice. I got some issues, and I'll tell you some of them later on. In any case, we're doing a walkthrough tour of some parts of BGC, and we're going to do more of these. So if you are aware of some landmarks and you watch this thing and you say, oh, geez, that's not in there. Well, it will be in the next one or the next one or whatever. We're going to narrate it all the way through and tell you what we're seeing. There are two really stark contrasts that we're going to see in this video. One has to do with the people, one has to do with the standard of living. I think you'll probably find both of them kind of sad. I do. In any case, let's go through the nice part first. You can see the sidewalks are wide, they're clean, they're maintained, the streets are big, they're beautiful boulevards. Right now it looks really nice because it's at one of the lowest times that you'll see, except for maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. At certain times of day, rush hour in particular, this will be jam-packed, standing room only. It'll look like Manhattan at rush hour. The whole place gives you kind of the feel of Manhattan. Right here, we're starting out right across the street from a place called Uptown Mall. Uptown is kind of central to BGC, kind of, sort of. Uptown Mall itself is kind of a smallish mall, but it's nice. I like it. It's got a little bit of a homey feel to it. I like it. I find an awful lot of stuff that I need in there. I can go to huger malls and not find anything I can use. So Uptown it's okay. These are offices and condos, lots and lots of condos. The rents are high for Manila and high for the Philippines, really, really high. But they're a fraction of what you would pay in a Western country. So this fits in with our whole theme of, do you want to retire in Southeast Asia? You might. If you come to a place like this, you might. It's affordable. Like I said, it's a fraction of what you're paying now in a Western country. It's a fraction. And it's as nice, maybe nicer. You look around here and you'll notice that there aren't any bums. There aren't any homeless. There aren't any tents. There aren't any drugs. There aren't any needles. There's almost no crime. People are polite. Really, really, they're polite. One of the things that I run into, I walk between 5 and 10 miles a day through this city, and I don't know, Filipinos have a quirk. They run into you a lot. When you're walking, they just walk right into you, and they're not necessarily looking at their phones. They have no spatial awareness or something. I don't know. They walk into you, just about knock you down. But every single time, they're extremely polite and apologetic, and you say, "Okay, no problem. Yeah, okay. Maybe next time I'll walk into you." People get along pretty well, and they're clean, and they don't litter. It's a pretty good crowd of people. Really. Now here's Denny's. You're looking at Denny's. You're thinking, oh my God, there's Denny's. That's just like America. No, not so much. I've tried to eat there a few times. Yeah, it's really not like America. Really not too much at all. And I ain't going back. And you run into that quite a bit with the clones of Western establishments here. Well, anywhere in the world, really. But Denny's here is kind of like a nightmare version of Denny's. You know? It's not really real Denny's. But they do have a lot of sidewalk cafes. Here's some that are just barely opening. So I think this is just before lunchtime, as I recall. Lots of little sidewalk cafes, lots of beautiful places to sit and relax, and people aren't yelling and screaming. Filipinos do like to honk their horns, but I think white people like to honk their horns more. Now, this guy was a character. I didn't get most of him on film. There are guards everywhere, in some cases as many as, God, I don't know, maybe even up to 10 per block. Many of them are outfitted with fully automatic machine guns, shotguns. This guy only had a sidearm, probably a 45, 9mm, I don't know. Okay, so this guy's just opening up. Coffee. The street food here is a cut or 3 or 4 above street food everywhere else. It's actually mostly safe to eat it. Anywhere else, I say 9. Niet. No. Do not eat the street food. But in BGC, you're pretty safe. Pretty much everything is pretty safe in BGC. You can see a lot of construction going on. It's a booming economy. People like it. People are coming to it. It's a little bit like a homeowners association thing where things kind of might be just a little bit too strict, but you deal with it. Here's a jeepney. The jeepneys are not allowed inside BGC except for a couple of specific routes. It's because they smoke and they're loud, and they make them loud on purpose. And people don't really generally like them too much, except me. I like them. They're really low to sit in. I cannot sit up straight in any one I've ever been in the back. You just climb in the back. There you go. They're cool. They're Jeeps with stretched out frames, diesel engines. They are. I need to do really like a formal photography study of jeepneys because they're being outlawed because they were horrible polluters. And my argument is, well, if that's the only problem, just make them swap out engines or make them tune the engines or do whatever to make them comply. Don't outlaw the entire vehicle. I really don't understand that thinking, but they are. It's a done deal. And they don't have much longer to live, and they all have to be retired. I think Philippines wide. Now here we've crossed the street. It's a very, very sharp delineation between BGC and normal Philippines life. Now we have crossed the street. We're on to what we call the dark side. And this is normal Philippine life. Little shops and food things. Okay, here's one of the first things you're going to notice. In BGC, people do not act like that. They look like Germans. You cross that street. The street is right there on your right. It's a big boulevard, and that marks the border of BGC. You cross that turkey, and you go to the neighborhood on the left side, and that's real Filipino life. And the people are friendly, and they're happy-go-lucky. This is my kind of people. This was a pretty decent hotel. I stayed there for a month. This guy's apologizing because he's closed the gate to block my view, but he had to close the gate. Can you imagine apologizing for that? You know, what are they going to do in the U.S.? They're going to come over and kick you in the shins, say F you, slam the gate in your face. This guy apologizes. Stray cats are everywhere. They're hungry. On the dark side, they're usually really, really hungry. This poor guy, he looks like he's about 100 years old. He looks Siamese to me. On the BGC side, they're really not too hungry because they're you'll see in a few minutes, they're fed so well. It's really kind of stupid. So every time I walk through this little hood, I usually buy a chicken or something, throw it out. Just let them have at it. You know? The local shops will feed them kind of, sort of, once in a while. Pretty often they'll starve right to death right there on the sidewalk. This guy's, I don't know what he's, well, it looks like the front caliper off his brake system. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. He was a nice guy, invited me to film him. Everybody I film, I get permission from. The Philippines is a little bit cranky about that. You got to be careful. So here's just some trash. Just, you're not going to see this. You cross that street, right, you know, on the other side there, you cross there, you will not see scenes like this. This is just trash, and some cat has found something that might be kind of semi-edible. He's not really sure, but he's going to eat it anyway. Okay, here's a sidewalk stall on the dark side. I don't know what any of these dishes are. No clue. No clue. Looks like, I don't know what they are. They do a pretty brisk business. The prices are stinking cheap. The food will taste pretty good, taste fine, and then doesn't taste so good coming up, you know. I don't know. I'm kind of susceptible to bad street food. I was hospitalized in Thailand 10 times for it, and so I'm a little wary of street food these days. There, see, they're hammering it up for the camera. BGC, they will not do that. They'll scowl at you, maybe poke you with a stick or something. Here's a little hood. I walked down this little soy on the right there. I walked down that thing, I don't know, close to a year ago, and I got lost down there. It's just a warren. Just a maze of little places, and it's highly confusing. I'm going to go down there a few feet in a minute. There's a store kind of a thing, partway down that little soy. This goes for, excuse me, miles and miles, twisting and turning and splitting off and here and there. I walked through there once with a really big camera, a stupid white lens like Canon likes to paint them. And of course it was just a magnet. It was just a neon globe, you know. And the kids all ran around, wanted to get the greasy fingerprints on the lens and stuff like that. Okay, now we're coming up into rush hour. This is, well, no, it's not rush hour. This is probably lunch hour. This is Manila. This is how fast you can go in Manila. From about 11:30 on up until maybe 8 o'clock at night. You just aren't going to go. You're just going to sit like this. It can take you an hour to go 5 miles. It's terrible. It's really bad. Now, I had turned the camera off here, and after it was off, I had a number of people come by and stop and dance around, want me to film them, and I couldn't get it turned back on in time to get them, but they're just friendly, nice people on this side, on the dark side, quote unquote. All these weird little vehicles, they're doing deliveries and going around selling stuff, and it's life, it's real life, it's lively. It's interesting. These are my people. The people in BGC are not my people. I don't want to live in Manhattan. No, I don't like it. So I'll be out of, oh, that looked like an accident, but I didn't catch there. Here's a machine shop. I don't know if you can see him, the guy sleeping in the back there. I don't know what all kinds of jobs he can handle. The junk shops everywhere. I don't really know how they make it at all. I've never seen anything in them that it looked like they could sell, but they're there. Now, open welcome, no idea where that goes. There's a stairway that goes up. Now, this neighborhood is not the slum. This is kind of middle class. Yeah, pretty much really middle class. Okay, male bed spacer. That means you get a bed in a room with a bunch of other people. I didn't say the price. It's probably like $15 a month, something like that. Hardware store. A lot of the shops here, you cannot enter the shop. You go to the window, you tell them what you want. And they go back and they root around, they try to get it, they bring it out to you. No, I didn't want that kind, I wanted the other kind. So then they got to go back again and get another kind. it takes an incredible amount of time to buy a pair of pliers. Geez. Okay. See, this is still not slums. This is some of this is a little lower middle class, but it's still middle class. It's not slums. We'll do slums someday. People love their pets. On this side, they don't get taken care of all that well. On the BGC side, they get taken care of really well. Here's a trash bin. That's not really a trash bin. Let's see. Store of, that's just a general store, I guess. It looks like it's all, like they just found building materials and kind of stuck them up there with tape, and yeah, they did. That's what they did. That's, these places actually have titles to their land. In the slums, they do not. These people actually own these places. Bat Cave, sorry store, I don't know. That's just a general store. I don't think you can go in that one either. You got to go to that little tiny window and tell them what you want. And who's to see? You don't know what they have, so how can you, it's difficult. Little trails going through the buildings that go God knows where. You don't walk down these at night alone if you're white, if you're well-dressed. This guy was funny. He's trying to decide whether or not to be happy. They think they're going to get big advertisement and be rich, because some white guy is filming them. Here's a bunch of food. I have no clue what this stuff is. There's some really nice looking fish there. I don't know what that other stuff is. What is that? Oh, it's got the feet on it. What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't want to know. Is that the feet? Oh, God. I don't know. Now, this stuff has been sitting out here for hours and hours and hours. 90 degrees, 95 degrees. Go ahead and try it. It's going to be tasty as heck. It's going to be dirt cheap. Hospital bill will be, not as high as in the U.S. I just got out of one. Well, that one almost was as high. There's some prices now. It's 57 pesos to $1. So figure it out. 57 pesos to $1. Right now, it goes up and down quite a bit. But here's the marshal. He figured out he was being filmed, and he's worried about being impolite. He didn't want to be in the way of the camera. You're not going to find manners like this anywhere. Maybe in 1952 in America. Gone now. This is also the land of chickens. Thailand, we called them gai. They just move these little cages around to give them new garbage to feed on when they've eaten all the old garbage. I'm serious. I am serious, really. These are not the sidewalks at BGC. Now, this guy's got some birds in a cage up there. One of them I identified as a pigeon up on top of the building. And there were some other ones in there I couldn't figure out what they were. One of them looked like some kind of a blackbird thing. I'll pan up there in a minute. Yeah, that's a pigeon there, but there's other ones in the back there. I never did figure out what they were. This is probably a house/shop. Now, right in the middle of all this stuff, there's this beautiful Western-looking home, just sitting there right in the middle of all this stuff. I don't know how this came to be. Beautiful home, nice home. Somebody had a lot of money, I guess, and they just wanted to build that right there. Perfectly fine. That's probably what I would do, too. Yeah, just people living. In the U.S., people are not allowed to live in things like this. That's why they live on the sidewalk. Okay, down in that dark hole, it's a clothing store. They don't turn the lights on until you come. Can't afford the electric. Now, this is just a ladder goes up, and there's an apartment up there. But coming in and out, that's where you got to go. Lots of groceries. That'll be a lot of fun. Nice little bakery. Oh yeah, eating more garbage. Oh, geez. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. You want some? Man. The cats on the dark side struggle. They do. Some of them actually do in BGC too, but not too many. They're somewhat taken care of. We're going to see some towards the end of this. Okay, here we're back in BGC. We've crossed over the border. Back into BGC. There are little parks everywhere in BGC. But they very conspicuously give you almost no place to sit. So you can walk in there, you can look at the stuff, but you can't really sit down too much. This was some idea of BGC modern art. You can see their idea of modern art. It kind of maybe differs from yours and mine, say the least. Not really any place to sit here. If you want to sit there and enjoy that beautiful art, not going to do it. You can see the intersections are wide. They all got streetlights. It's nice. It's a nice place, especially this time of day. Over on the dark side, it was lunch hour, and things were getting really ramped up and crowded. Over here in BGC, still relatively quiet, serene. This is a nice city to walk. That's why I walk 5 or 10 miles a day. It's nice. It's a nice place to walk. This guy just wanted to show me his, I think it's some kind of sprouts or something he was delivering to a restaurant. Yeah, not really a good view of it. Lots of nice buildings. The lights all work. The walk and don't walk, they all work. People pretty much abide by them. Chase Bank, exclusive motorbike parking. Nice touch. You gonna find that in the US? No. This is a city of rental contraptions. Bikes and scooters and things. They're for rent everywhere. People use them a lot. The demand for the e-scooters is way higher than the demand for the bikes, but they have more bikes than they do e-scooters, so it's hard to get an e-scooter. Easy to get a bike. You just got an app, you scan an app, and it unlocks, and you ride it away. It comes off your tab online. Beautiful sidewalks. Doesn't look anything like the dark side. And they don't want it to. Lots and lots of financial institutions. This is a nice breeze on this day. It's probably about 90 to 93, probably about 75% humidity. Spitting rain off and on. You don't go anywhere without an umbrella. Some nice buildings. It's comfortable. It's a comfortable place. Nothing too horrible is going to happen. I walk endlessly with huge, expensive cameras. And, I was going to say I never had any problem. The only problem I had was from a guard. Nice. It's just nice. Nice place. Good breeze. These are the green things sticking out over the streets protect you from falling stuff from the construction sites. In Thailand, or in all the other countries, Southeast Asia, nobody will walk anywhere near. They will cross the street, walk on the opposite side from any building that's under construction, because half of them know somebody who was killed from crap falling off. But here they're very careful to protect people. Little sandwich burger shop. They're just everywhere. Nice place to sit over there. Quiet. The only problem is it's going to be hot. So you're going to sit there and you're going to sweat. But on a cooler day, especially in the rain, you got the umbrella. You can sit there and just have a lovely meal, quiet, by yourself. This is pretty common weather pattern for Philippines. Cumulus stuff, popcorn clouds. Let's see, I think we zoom in on 360 pesos for whatever you get there. So whatever that is, 57 cents to the dollar, or 57 pesos to the dollar. Sorry. Food in BGC is far more expensive than any outlying area because it's the rich district. You are considered really quite rich if you live in BGC. And you can live quite well in BGC on, say, $4,000 a month. So if your pension is $4,000 or up, you got it kicked. You're there. Nice life. Easy life. Comfortable life. Safe life. Good hospitals. When I was in there recently, for we don't even know what, some kind of food poisoning, they figured. It was the best care I've ever had, and I thought I had already had the best care in the world in Thailand. No, this was better. This was St. Luke's. It did kind of bother me that the doctor I was paying a large amount of money to came in with her gold-plated $20,000 MacBook. That kind of, okay, so you're getting rich off of me. You don't have to show it, Jeez. Just everywhere you go. Okay, here's a brand new soccer field. I think pretty much every night they have big practices and games and stuff. They don't do much of anything in the daytime because it's just too dang hot. But nighttime pretty much comes alive, and we'll do some nighttime walk-arounds also. A little bit of traffic starting to build up. This is probably getting long, about 2:30-ish, something like that. Traffic isn't bad yet. It's just starting to build. It'll become gridlocked for a while, like any city, anywhere, probably more so here. Filipinos do love to honk their horns. There are lots of pharmacies here, but they're always jammed. I don't think I've ever gotten up to the counter in less than 30 minutes. There aren't enough pharmacies. That's the bottom line. Pretty buildings, especially with the blue sky and the reflections, and it's just a pretty place. It is. It's not a gorgeous place, but it's a pretty place. Here's one of the main parks of Uptown. This is called Track 30, I believe. Designed as kind of a jogging park. You hardly ever see joggers. Maybe in the nighttime you do, I'm not sure. That's the jogging path that goes all the way around it. It's well kept. This is also, we call it Cat Park because it's full of cats. There are a lot of volunteers that come in and take care of the cats pretty well. Not as well as I would like to see, but it's not a perfect world either, Sign needs a little work there. Lots and lots of rules, and people abide by the rules. You're not going to find druggies out here. You're not going to find anybody drinking. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to see a needle. Ever. Ever. It's not going to happen. It's a safe park. It's a safe park. Oh, there's some cuties right there. Oh, that's my friend. That's a poor little orange guy who's really down on his luck. I think he was dropped off there. This is kind of like the king of this area. He's just fat and healthy and friendly, and he'll come over to you pretty much any time, wanting some scratching. Now the volunteers bring every kind of food. It's like a smorgasbord. Every kind of food they think the cats might even possibly remotely want, and they can't eat 10% of it. The poor little orange guy, he can't seem to get it together to eat anything, and I don't give him very long to live. I tried to take care of him one day, not this one, the little orange guy, the kitten. I tried to take care of him one day, and there just really wasn't anything I could do for him. He wouldn't drink, he wouldn't eat. He wants attention, he wants to be held. I don't know if it's distemper, could be distemper, possibly. Okay, cat population control. Look at the very bottom. Do not pet the cats. Okay, this is one of the downsides of BGC. At the very underneath that it says, do not pet the cats because the cats need their privacy too. What does that mean? Doesn't make any sense. If the cats want their privacy, they won't come over to you. If they come over to you and rub up against you, that means they don't want privacy. That means they want to be petted, but you're not supposed to. There are a number of things like that in BGC that rankle. They just do. It's a little bit leaning towards communistic kind of thing. BGC is photo friendly. No, it's not. The official policy is that it's photo friendly, but I was pretty close to here a month or two ago. Had a tiny DSLR. I took a picture of some grass, no people in it. And a guard ran up behind me screaming, "No pictures, BGC, no pictures, BGC." And we had quite a little argument there. And I went to the BGC admin and said, "What's the deal? Can I take a photo or not?" "Yes, sir. Yes, you can. You can. That guard's crazy. We're going to take care of him. Don't worry about it." But you'll run into some percentage of rogue, kind of semi-insane guards frequently. Okay, parks are beautiful, no place to sit. That's all they got right there. One of the guards. They very consciously, I guess, don't put any place to sit. You can't walk in that grass because they're afraid it's going to get wrecked, so you can't go out there and sit in the middle of that grass. There's a little orange guy. I was over there yesterday, tried to find him, couldn't find him. I don't know if that means he's dead or not. I tried to get the guards to call the vet. I said, "Look, I'll pay. Just call the vet. Come and get him. At least get a diagnosis." 95 degrees, he's shivering. And the guards wouldn't do that. I said, "Okay, give me a number for the volunteers. I'll call the volunteers." "Well, we don't have a number. We don't know who they are." "Okay, will you at least tell the guards? Tell the volunteers about this kitty?" "Okay, well, if we see him, yeah, we will." And I doubt that they ever did. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Bart Simpson or something. I don't know what that is. Creepy looking. They had too many little kids ran into that horn, got skewered, so they put the cones there. Rather than dull it off, Okay. I don't know what this thing is either. No clue whatsoever. It's probably some famous cartoon character that I never watched. I don't know. It creeps me out also. The heck? Okay. Fridays. In America, they're considered affordable. Here, they are not considered affordable. The prices are extreme. Too expensive for me. Really extreme for simple little meals. This is just part of the high street mall complex thing. It's an outdoor mall. It's about 4 blocks, I think, long. Walkway on either side and some little park areas in the middle. Lots and lots and lots of shops. Hard to find anything useful, like any other mall. There you can buy a mouse over there in Pit City. I don't know what foul bread is. I haven't tried it. I'm worried about every kind of restaurant in Southeast Asia. I've had really bad luck. This is still High Street, crossing over to the from one walkway to the other. No cars allowed anywhere in this whole 4-block section. 4 or 5 blocks, I'm not sure. This is a nice place, You can walk around. You can sit at little sidewalk cafes and sip drinks, get in the shade. Here we're sitting at Dunkin' Donuts, looking out to the next segment across that street, the next segment of High Street. I love Dunkin' Donuts. I used to go there every day, but they average about 4.5 to 6 minutes to process each customer. Want one donut? 4.5 to 6 minutes. And now I'll go by and I'll look in, and if there's 3 or more in the queue, I pass it by because I'm not waiting. This thing is they got the strangest idea of art, but this is one of their ideas of art. There's about 1 billion holes in the bottom of that rock thing, and water generally pours out of there like a shower. It drains down there. And on the weekends, the kids, hundreds of them, the kids come and run back and forth through that thing, and it's kind of pretty. It's kind of cool. This is just a pond. Mosquitoes love it. Mosquitoes love you too. There's the rock thing. I don't know why it's not running now. Maybe there's a water shortage, or maybe the pump is broken or something. I don't know. Lots of cool little shops. You can just shop and eat and browse and sit, and you will never, ever, ever have a problem. More rental bikes. A lot of times you see 20, 30, 40 scooters lined up here. I don't know where all the e-scooters are lately. I haven't seen them for a while. A guard will help you across every street. Almost, no, not every street. Many streets. The guards are 98% princes and princesses. 98% there. Perfect. 2%, not so good. This is Dog City. BGC is Dog City. Everybody's got 2.3, 4.4 dogs in their condos. And they struggle with them and wrestle with them. And I hope it's worth it to them. This is one of the stupidest things BGC ever did. These things have a gong inside of them. They're mounted on a spring. You run over there and you push it. And then that gong also is on a spring. It flops back and forth inside there, and it goes bong, like that. Okay, you turn 3 or 4 kids loose there while mommy goes shopping for 3 hours, and they won't stop. It says bong, 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 bong. They will not stop, and you can't even think straight. And I don't know why BGC thinks that's cool, but it's not. Oh, here's the cats again, Cat City. People doing a formal photo shoot of their dog. Yes, I got permission. BGC, yes, I got permission. Jeez. Okay, now this is, look to the right, across that boulevard, look to the right, that's BGC. Look to the left, that's not BGC. You see a little bit of a difference there. The people who live on the left are the worker bees who keep BGC running. Without them, BGC would shut down. They're the waitresses and waiters and store clerks and everything. Now here's right below. They're in that little park. I walked in there one day. I was dog tired. I was hot. I was really tired. I'd walked far. And there was a bench there. I tried to sit on the bench, and they said, "No, you cannot sit. Cannot sit." I said, "Wait, what? There's nobody on the bench. What is the problem? Do I have to pay?" "No, you don't pay. Cannot sit." And I said, "Why? Why?" They said, "Well, it's a dog park and you don't have a dog." So I wanted to go steal a dog so I could go sit on the bench and rest up for 10 minutes. Nope, couldn't sit. That's another one of BGC's weird little quirk things that will drive you kind of sort of crazy, and that kind of stuff is why people leave. Here's a drainage, just an open drainage, sewage, runoff, water kind of a thing. And there's lots of those, and they smell. They don't allow those into BGC. That was right on the border between BGC and another area of the dark side. Okay, here's the dark side again. This is where all the worker bees for BGC live. This is what they can afford. We'll do some walkthroughs of this area and some other areas as well. They mostly don't have air conditioning. It's hot. It's a rough life. I'm sorry, it's a rough life. That white building in the center, I don't know what that is. Looks like apartments maybe or something, I'm not sure. Kind of sticks out like sore thumb. In the background, you see how the cities are clumped together like that. You know, here's the king of the cat territory. Yeah, come on. And the cats, by and large, are pretty darn healthy. Pretty healthy. The volunteers do okay. I don't know if they have any funding or if they're using their own money to feed them. Oh, no, too close. Okay, this is back to that area again, the worker bees. Now this is sort of a little area, kind of sort of protrudes into BGC, but it's very definitely, very clearly delineated between it and BGC. So there's not a lot of casual spillover. You know, BGC doesn't want their kids coming into BGC, stuff like that. The guards will kind of give them a hard time. Now that could be Makati off in the distance. I am not sure. Makati is not nearly as nice as BGC, but it's about 40% cheaper than BGC. And it's actually a little more interesting than BGC. BGC is too much Stepford Wives for me. It's just too nice. Okay, more of the worker bee tenements kind of things. This is not slums. This is middle class. You see the cars on the lower left corner. That wall is the border between BGC and the tenements. In BGC, you see nice cars. Out there in the tenements, you won't see any nice cars. You'll see the little trikes and broken down motorbikes and stuff like that. So you see it's just a stark difference. Now, if I walk through this area right down there below in the main area, which I've done many times, the kids all crowd around and they're happy and they're jumping around. Not in BGC. No, they won't talk to you. Some of the parks are nice. You can just lay there and, you know, look at the sky and relax. The parks would be an awful lot more relaxing if they made places for you to sit down. For some reason, they don't want to. Here's a cat I had never seen before. I don't know when he showed up. Tiger in the wild, you know. They all have kind of a Siamese look to them. And, well, I mean, you know, Southeast Asia, what was Thailand? It was Siam. Okay, Siamese, Siam. And that's it. That's our show. Okay, we're going to do more of these. Hope you like this one. Remember, views do not help us at all. Only subscriptions help us. I hate that. I hate that begging. But if you want more videos, then you got to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, we don't get any kind of credit. And actually, YouTube will kind of make our videos disappear. Well, not kind of. They do. Usually pretty quickly. If people aren't subscribing, you're gone. It's dog eat dog. So, I know it's a pain in the butt. I hate it myself. I hate it. I hate subscribing to channels, but I do it because I know how it works. Alrighty. We're done for now. We've got a whole bunch of straight talking, non-scenic videos that are all about do you want to move to Southeast Asia? And if you do, can you afford to? And if you can afford to, where are you going to go? I think we got about 24 of those online right now. We're putting them online. They're all done. They're all prepared. We're just one by one, we're putting them online on YouTube. We swore we would never do business with YouTube for a variety of reasons. And guess what? Now we are. At least we're dabbling at it. Not really too serious, but we're dabbling at it to see how much trouble we will have with YouTube. Because so many people have so much trouble with YouTube, they just quit. So it's not worth it. It's not worth the trouble. And we're waiting to see if that's going to be how we end as well. But in the meantime, these things, all of our podcasts and tapes and videos, all of them can be found on stockphotosworldwide.com. There's alien podcasts and videos and there's all kinds of other crap. stockphotosworldwide.com. So if something happens to our stuff on YouTube, you can always go there and find our stuff forever and ever and ever. You know, probably. All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good night.